In the world of competitive running, there's a name you need to know: Leo. Young, fast, with a fire in his eyes that burned hotter than the summer asphalt he trained on. His life had one singular focus at the Grand City Marathon. It wasn't just a race. It was the pinnacle, the one trophy that would validate every drop of sweat, every sacrificed party, every pre-dawn alarm. He lived by the stopwatch. His diet was a science, and his social life was on a permanent pause. His apartment walls weren't covered with photos of friends or family, but with race routes, sweat times, and a single, giant poster of the marathon's finish line. Winning was everything. It was the only thing. The day of the marathon arrived, charged with an electric buzz. Thousands of runners, a sea of vibrant colors, posed at the starting line. Leo was in the zone. He had visualized this moment 1,000 times. The starting gun fired, and the pack surged forward. Leo quickly found his rhythm, his legs pumping like well-oiled pistons. He was a machine built for this. Mile after mile, he ticked them off, his pace relentless. He shed the casual runners, then the serious amateurs, and soon, he was in the elite lead pack. By mile 20, the race had become a brutal test of will. It was just Leo and a handful of others. Among them was a legend, a man named Arthur Vance. Arthur was a veteran, his face a roadmap of countless races won and lost. He was older now, but his form was still classic, his stride economical. He was the ghost Leo was chasing, the benchmark he had to beat. The city blurred into a smear of cheering faces and colorful banners, but Leo saw none of it. He saw only the back of Arthur's jersey, the finish line in his mind, and the glint of the trophy. With only a few miles to go, Leo decided to make his move. He dug deep, pushing past the pain screaming in his lungs and legs. He pulled ahead, gaining a few precious yards on Arthur. The crowds were intensified. They could sense a new champion being crowned. Victory was so close he could almost taste it. His heart pounded, not just with effort, but with the exhilarating thrill of imminent triumph. This was it. This was his moment. And then, something happened. A sudden, sharp cry cut through the noise. Leo glanced back. Arthur was down. He had stumbled, his leg twisted at an unnatural angle, his face contorted in agony. The other lead runners didn't break stride. They were racers, and this was a race. Their eyes were fixed on the finish line. Leo's were too, for a split second. The trophy was right there, waiting for him. He could win. All he had to do was keep running, but he couldn't. Something inside him, a voice he hadn't heard in a long time, stopped him. He slowed, hesitated, and then, to the absolute shock of the crowd, he turned around. He ran back to where Arthur lay on the ground. The cheers of the crowd turned into a wave of confused murmurs. "What is he doing?" People whispered. Leo knelt beside the veteran runner. "Can you get up?" he asked, his own breath ragged. Arthur shook his head, wincing. "My ankle. I think it's broken." In that moment, the race was over for Leo. The trophy, the time, the win, it all just dissolved. He looked at Arthur, a man he had idolized and competed against. Now just a person in pain. He saw not a rival, but a fellow runner, a human being. Without a second thought, Leo put his arm around Arthur. "Come on," he said. "Let's finish this." He helped the older man to his feet, draping Arthur's arm over his own shoulders, taking on his weight. And so, they began to walk. Slowly, painfully, they moved toward the finish line together. The other runner had long since passed them, disappearing into the distance. The race for first place was over, but a new kind of race had begun. The crowd, initially stunned into silence, began to understand what they were witnessing. A quiet ripple of applause started, then grew, and grew, until it was a thundering, sustained ovation that dwarfed any cheer for the actual winner. They weren't cheering for a time. They were cheering for a choice. They weren't celebrating a victory of speed, but a victory of spirit. Every step was a struggle. Arthur grimaced with pain, but Leo kept talking to him, encouraging him, sharing the burden. They were no longer competitors. They were a team of two, on the longest, most meaningful mile of their lives. As they approached the finish line, the official winner was already giving his interview, the trophy in his hands. But all eyes were on the two men limping their way home. When they finally crossed the line, arm in arm, the roar from the crowd was deafening. There was no medal for Leo, no podium, no record broken. The official winner, the young man who had just achieved his lifelong dream, walked over, took the trophy, and handed it to Leo. He simply said, "Today, you showed us all what winning really means." Leo didn't win the marathon that day. He didn't get his name etched onto the trophy or his picture in the record books. He won something far greater. He won the respect of an entire city, the admiration of his hero, and a profound understanding of himself. He learned that victory isn't always about being the first to cross a line. Sometimes it's about making sure you're not the only one who gets there. It's about the journey, the compassion you show, along the way and the impact you have on the lives of others. That day, Leo didn't win a race, he won a legacy, and that's a prize that never tarnishes. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please give this video a like and subscribe for more content that explores the deeper meaning of sports and life. See you in the next one.